Hello and welcome to Nug and Cymek review DC Comics, the New 52, where every week Nug and I review every single one of the new DC titles. I'm Andrew Cymek.
And I'm Nug, and we've got a pile of titles to review this week. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who actually watched to the end of last week's episode. You all wrote sandwich on the...
Amazing.
I can't believe the response I got. I actually thought no one watched to the end. Let's get started with Teen Titans. Here we go, Teen Titans. Can any of them defeat Superboy? I liked this book without Superboy, and now the Superboy I don't like shows up, and I didn't really care for the book.
And I actually really like this book. I liked the talking between...
Oh, the dialogue's fine.
The dialogue, the characters. I actually didn't mind this. For those of you wondering, this is pretty much a fight book.
Oh, it's the whole book's a fight.
The whole book is the Teen Titans taking on Superboy, and I actually didn't mind it. I thought that, I mean, we have seen that quite a bit in the past before.
Yeah.
Many stories. It's not a fresh new story.
No.
But I like that it's a bunch of different characters, and the way the New 52 has relaunched Kid Flash and Red Robin and Wonder Girl. I mean, they sound and feel different to me.
They do.
I like that.
Here's my main problem with this.
Yeah.
Wonder Girl's armor grows out of her. Much like Blue Beetle, much like Hawkman. It's unnecessary. She didn't have armor. The last version didn't have armor.
Yeah.
Donna Troy didn't have armor, except for a while she had a crazy thing on her shoulder.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they had a nice line, though, where she says that it's a grift from the gods about her lasso.
It's a gift,
I mean, but going back to the armor growing, I mean, she did kind of steal this armor. I don't know if it's growing right out of her or if she put it on
Superboy says
there.
It grows when she gets more scared.
Yeah, but maybe she's wearing it and then it grows. We're getting bogged down with this. Needless to say, I liked the book.
I didn't care for it that much. It's certainly not going to be in my top 6.
So it's a split decision here. I liked it. My Patriots won, so I'm right.
Give me that. Next, Legion, Secret Origin. It's getting better for me.
Is it?
It's getting a little bit better for me.
See, I think it's more of the same. Legion, Secret Origin, I like Legion Lost.
I like Legion Lost a lot.
I'm just finding that this book, it's muddy. Nothing's sticking out with me. And in this book, I actually find that the art looks very much like Archie comics.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the art's actually taking a step backwards. It seemed a little rough.
I think I'm getting distracted by seeing all the other Legionnaires show up and me having that nerd moment of like, there he is and there's her. And I think that's what I'm getting distracted by. I don't understand not that I don't understand. I mean, I do, as a human being, understand it. I can comprehend it.
Yeah.
But as a fan, I don't know why we were including these people, these 3 guys that are watching everything. That's a weird take.
Seems like it kind of takes us way out of the action.
Yeah, and I don't care for that very much. But
narrators.
It got better last month. It's staying on that track. It's incrementally getting better. I still prefer Legion Lost and the other Legion book even to this. So.
It's not a worse book than last month's
No, not at all.
But I just don't know if it's enough.
Yeah. Agreed. Up next, Green Lantern, New Guardians. Remember when we went through all this garbage at the beginning of this book and we hated the Lucky Charms Guardians?
Yep.
And
then last month's book was
better.
Was better.
And now we get to go into the Orrery, this toy solar system, and our gang splits up. What's her name? Bleeze.
Yeah.
Flies off to go deal with the Red Lantern stuff. And hey, weird how that Red Lantern appearance in this book covered all of the issues of Red Lanterns that have been out.
Yeah.
Without all the Krona, dead friend, Krona, and then.
I liked Red Lanterns.
Let's split up, gang, right? Let's split up, gang. Yeah. And everybody splits up, and it turns out Larfleeze is a bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to spoil it for you. I mean, I actually think the best part of this book
is a bad guy.
Is the Larfleeze stuff, though. But it's not the majority of the book.
No, but it's kind of cool that they end up on all these other worlds that look like Tamarin and Okara, but before they became what they are today. It looks like they somehow travel through time.
I mean, I think my problem with this book, New Guardians, is it's taking a lot of concepts that are found in other books.
Yep.
And throwing them together in an orrery of ideas.
Oh, buddy, we're going to say that word a lot.
Yeah.
Last time, I got excited last month because last time I saw the word orrery was the Orrery of Worlds as seen in 52.
Yes.
And I got super excited about it.
and I think it was a false.
It was a very false sense of excitement.
Yeah.
Not a great book.
No, I can't recommend New Guardians this week. Larfleeze is the best of the book, but
He's barely in it.
Barely in it.
I do enjoy him. Up next, Justice League Dark, the end of this story.
Yep. The finale.
The setup that puts the team together. Or does it? Justice League Dark is a great book, and I know they had to they had to, but the inclusion of Mind Warp seems a little rushed. We
did.
barely met him in the Flashpoint universe.
Yeah.
Here he shows up and kind of helps out,
Mm-hmm.
but I assume we'll get to know more of him as the story goes, as the book goes on. But an excellent book.
The thing I liked about this book was that they were dealing with a fractured story already. Like, the actual puzzle was fractured, and the way the story was actually relayed was in that fractured sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
John Constantine is my favorite character with Zatanna in Justice League Dark.
Yep.
Once again, he proves to be ultimate badass. I really like Constantine in this. Overall, it was a nice tie-up to the story. Nug's right. The inclusion of Mind Warp did seem a little rushed.
But I assume since the book is going on, is not one of the many canceled titles, that we will see more of Mind Warp and understand more of what he's about.
And when we're talking about climaxes to finales of, this story arc, I wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they solved the dilemma, some of you, and I'm curious to what you think, let us know if you feel cheated by the solution to the dilemma.
So, yeah, you're right.
Because I'm not sure. Does it work? It works because we're dealing with a magic book. But does it work as a payoff? I'm not sure. I'm curious to what you guys think.
It's always tough in a magic book when you can use magic as the way out, as the Deus Ex Magica, if you will.
Yeah, you got
a point. I thought it worked. I thought it tied up nice. I wonder what the difference is. I love Deadman, and I wonder what the difference is between Mind Warp and Deadman right now. Nothing that I can see.
Good point.
Here we go. Moving on. iVampire. Boy, I'll say it. Were we ever wrong when we started? Before we ever got to it, we were not looking forward to this book. This is such a good book.
I actually look forward to iVampire.
You really
went
do.
from dread to iVampire. I can't wait.
Complete turnaround, man.
I wonder if the MVP of this book is the artist, though. Not that the writing's bad.
Oh,
the writing's great. But the art is just so good. I mean, because it feels and looks different than any other book that's out there.
It really
right now.
gets that really creepy tone.
Yeah.
It's Andrea Sorrentino.
Yeah.
Fialkov writes a great book, but Sorrentino makes it look so great.
Yeah.
Batman in this book is very Batman-y.
Yeah.
More so than, say, in another Batman book we might be reviewing later on.
Dark Knight.
Oh, I was trying to be cool about it. But iVampire's such a great read.
Yeah. And again, it's funny because one of the things that I don't like is when superheroes appear in books that I actually don't think that they should be appearing in. And once again, they do it in a way where Batman is in this book, but you don't mind that he's in this book, and he actually adds to the story. And there's actually Batman brings some humor to iVampire, which is pretty good.
And I like how it's very, it touches the other comics, the other stories, the other characters. There's some little hint of Green Arrow in this book. There's a little hint of the Dark, like Star City is mentioned. Like, that kind of stuff is really cool. And it's a weird book. It's in a weird corner, but it's showing the threat is really growing, and it's hit all the major cities. And that scene in the cop here, I arrested these dudes. All of them.
Yeah, there's some great scenes in this book, and as well some great lines that actually depict the struggle that Andrew has, not in just his team that's struggling, but also in him and what he is. iVampire continues to be a great book.
Up next, BlackHawks, a book that is going to be canceled. We've got 3 more issues, which is kind of a shame because we are enjoying this book.
Yeah, I mean, of the cancellations, I would say that this is number 2 on the list of ones that we're actually sad to see go. Not because BlackHawks is a great book and it's a must-read book, but we were actually enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it was a good book. And there's so many books right now that aren't good that
it makes me sad that this is one of the books that...
This showed potential. And this story, I think, is the tie-up.
I think so, yeah. I mean, there's clearly going to be more.
Yeah.
With the run-in with
but
Mother Machine.
I just like the characters in.
They're fun.
BlackHawks.
The dialogue's great. They're real people. Like, of all the characters in all the books, I think these guys are the real people. Like, you're being threatened. There's a nice scene where one of the guys is being threatened. Their tech guy, who's never really been out of the office, let's say.
Yeah.
Being threatened by this machine, this crazy, and he just laughs.
Yeah.
And, you dare laugh? And he's like, it's a reflex, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it's very funny.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm sad to see it go.
Yeah.
Is that it's humans dealing with crazy situations, and I actually like that. I mean, it felt different. I liked the characters, and unfortunately, I guess the audience wasn't there for this book, but I'm wondering if, and maybe, again, comment on this, if they had done a period piece for BlackHawks. And,
with the old lady Blackhawk and the old style Blackhawks.
Would that have drawn more people to buy the book?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think maybe if they'd have played up the humans dealing with crazy stuff.
Maybe.
I think maybe that could have been the one human book.
Yeah.
Not Batman, but an actual group of humans who are working to help. Yeah. And there are super things happening, and they have to deal with them.
Yeah. I mean, so this issue of BlackHawks continues what I think is a great run.
It's real good.
Is going to be cut short.
Yeah. Up next, Voodoo.
I do.
Oh, yeah. This is why I read comics. Hilarious. This book is a lot of fighting, and you learn a lot.
This is, again, Voodoo is one of those books that kind of took us by surprise. A great B-movie book, and you learn a lot about, Voodoo, the character. You learn a bit more about her mission. And
you learn more about the Demonites. You learn more about Blackjack.
Yeah.
You learn more about everybody in this book. There's a lot of stuff goes down in this book, and I think maybe this is this turning point where Voodoo maybe thinks maybe I'm not on the right mission.
There's something here that happens here that kind of turns her world on her head. We're not going to spoil it for you.
No, it actually made me drop the book.
Yeah, I mean, he read it before I did, and he kind of reacted. I'm like, is it that bad?
And I said, no, it's not that bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's Voodoo continues to be an entertaining read.
And a surprising read. Very surprising part of this book is that it actually made me care about the Demonites. Unlike in Grifter.
Crazy.
I know. Up next, All-Star Western. There's almost nothing that can be said about this book because it is phenomenal.
Yep.
Everything about this book has been fantastic from the beginning.
Yep.
The backup story with the Barbary Ghost continues to be mind-blowing.
Yep.
It's an amazing book and should be on everyone's pull list this week.
Yes.
That's it?
I got nothing more to add.
There's no way we can add more. It's the best.
One thing I will add is that there's a great bit where Hex and Arkham find the Mijani tribe. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with pronunciations.
Right.
So, which was from Grant Morrison's run on Batman.
I was going to ask you about that. There are people that...
Yeah, it's just... I love it, and if you guys are
You're
on
gonna
the
have to tell me
internet
about
knowing
these guys.
that the Court of Owls are going to appear in All-Star Western in the future, this is just a great book, and the backup, I mean, I love to say this and hate to say it in some ways, but the backup is better than Batman Dark Knight.
Oh, for sure. The backup's phenomenal. I don't know, and I mean, having read about the character Barbary Ghost and how it's new, but I don't know if there's ever been a female Asian Western hero, and that's what's awesome.
But, I mean, just the manner in which the story is actually relayed.
It's so great.
You feel automatically for the character,
yes.
and you're behind this character. And that's the backup.
Yeah.
So if you're not picking up All-Star Western, do it.
Do it. It's so good. Up next, The Savage Hawkman. We've been brutal.
With Hawkman.
We
have not at all liked Hawkman.
The scene in issue 1 where he is dealing with the armor, and it somehow sucks into him, and then he goes on this whole thing where he fights this Morbidus or whatever.
Yep.
Like, who cares?
Morphicus.
Who cares? Morphicus. It's been awful. And then this issue shows up, and what do you say?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
What happened?
This should have been issue 2. We could have skipped all that garbage and gone right to this. His armor doesn't look terrible in this. He's doing Hawkman things. He's reading old books.
Yeah.
He's fighting old Hawkman villains. It feels like Hawkman, other than the armor coming out of him.
Right.
Which I will say, as much as I hate it, The scene where he goes, oh man, I gotta take off, and he's Hawkman, that's way easier than, oh, I gotta go home and strap on all this stuff. Not that I'm saying it's better, but it was easier. It was an easier transition.
It seemed like the reasoning for the suit kind of came out in this issue.
Yes.
There's also another part in this issue where he's reading old ancient hieroglyphs, and automatically he understands
what they are. That was awesome.
Right. Why wasn't this in issue 2?
This should have been issue 2.
Instead of dealing with the threat of Morphicus and all that stuff that was happening, if this was issue 2, instantly a much better read. Am I excited for Hawkman? No. But
way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Oh. Way better.
Way better.
All right. Up next, Flash. The end of the Mob Rule story.
End of Mob Rule. What did you think?
Bit of a letdown.
Yes.
Bit of a letdown.
I
Bit of a letdown.
I don't want to. I love this Flash book.
I do too. Really I adore this Flash book. It is the greatest.
And I felt like this tie-up was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Again, because it's a tie-up, I don't want to spoil like details for you. If you're following the book, I want you to go out and have a clean slate for reading it. But I just felt that I was expecting more.
I was too. I don't expect that they're going to introduce a new villain, and that villain will be stopped and we'll never see them again. Right. I expect that villain will come back.
Yeah.
I don't expect that a story is going to end and make me go, oh, well.
Having said all this, I really do like the ending and the tease of what's to come.
Well, this is where you and I are going to differ. I feel we've heard that tease before. I feel we've heard that teaser ending to this book.
You know what? That's
we've
100% true. We've heard it before. But I love reading those stories.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. Those stories are some of the best Flash stories, but
we have heard it before.
We have heard it before.
To know what we're talking about,
because
this is very cryptic, you have to go out and read The Flash.
Good book.
Yeah.
Just a little kind of iffy on the ending.
Yeah.
Up next, Firestorm. I have to say right now, I said this to you before, Firestorm is my Superman. I love the Firestorm character, and I want this book to be so great. And it's just not doing it. No. I want it to be so good.
And when you said that to me, I was trying to think of where it's missing. And instead of saying, oh, well, it's missing on, every
No, it's not.
I think the problem is with the actual concepts that they're dealing with, it requires a more serious book than this buddy book that they're releasing, and it feels like it's off-center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're either a buddy book, or you're trying to, deal with this.
It's hard with
with
the Firestorm concept that they've set up.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make it a lighthearted Firestorm book.
That's it.
And Firestorm has always been a lighthearted book. He's dealt with serious stuff. Sure. He's always been involved, but he's cracked wise, and he's been this. Now he's two people, and now it's two books. It's a lighthearted thing with a very, very serious subject, and it's really hard to deal with that.
Right, and the thing is if it was just a serious book, I think it would be easier to sell that.
Yes.
I think that the problem is, it's funny that we're talking about Firestorm with a balance of two people.
I know.
As Firestorm, but that is really what the problem is with this run so far, is that the balance isn't working.
No,
it's way off.
I want it to be so good. I love that character.
Yeah. And I actually like, there's a lot of concepts in this book that they're talking about.
Oh, yes. There's no question. The concepts they deal with are amazing. And I'm like, I really want to understand. I want to read more about it. But it's wrapped in a package that isn't appealing.
Yeah, 100% agree.
That's too bad. Up next is Aquaman. Aquaman got short shipped this week here at the Silver Snail.
Yeah,
so we had to split a copy and then hand it back.
Yeah.
What a great book.
Yes, I agree. The art, I think, is really the MVP again of this.
What I liked is that we had said we felt that it wrapped up too quick with the trench.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're going back into the trench.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is that it's not the story that we've read is definitely not over.
No.
It's just going to connect to this new story.
Yeah, it's going to be part of this next story.
Yeah.
Where remember they went into the trench and there was some Atlantean thing he found down there.
Yeah.
Well, now that's the thing we're dealing with, and it's excellent.
Yeah, and I also like that they put Aquaman into situations that he shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
If you've read the preview pages, you know where he goes.
Yeah, and there's a great joke at the end about it that, I mean, you can't help but smile. So Aquaman continues to definitely be a pickup for us.
Oh, absolutely. Up next, Batman, Dark Knight.
Oh.
Oh boy, buddy, this is your boyfriend.
Spoilers, Batman versus Superman.
Oh, did they not hype that?
In this book.
Did they not hype that?
I don't know.
Didn't they tell the world that Batman was fighting Superman in this book? You'd think that would be a big thing, that they'd want to tell everybody that Batman was fighting Superman in this book. Batman's fighting Superman in this book, and no one was told. They did no hype. Guys, pick it up this week because Superman and Batman duke it out.
Yeah. Guys, this is not a good Bat book. This is the worst of the Bat books.
Ugh.
Having said that, I found that the Superman written here is the best Superman besides action so far.
I would agree.
Like, he's trying to talk reasonably to Batman, calm him down. I actually felt that, hey, that was, aside from the silly outfit he's wearing, that was the Superman
that
I
Superman makes sense.
It does. It does. He's the natural leader and trying to look at things from a different situation.
Right.
Which, without punching through them.
Right. Now, can we transition into the next book? Can we just already say Batman Dark Knight is bad?
Yeah, you know what? It's great art. At least I think it's great art, but no matter how good the art is, it's...
The story still goes from issue 1 to this, still seems like a video game where he's fighting boss after boss after boss, and it's not my cup of tea.
But let's go to the next book.
Let's go to the next book, which happens to be Superman. Now, the Superman from Dark Knight is the best Superman we've read.
So, what does that say about Superman?
Garbage. This is no good. It doesn't do it for me at all. There's nothing about this book that... it's just everyone dealing with Superman being a weirdo. That's the whole book.
I'm reading this and I'm like, I don't know how anyone can blame the people of Metropolis for never trusting Superman again.
Yeah, you want him to be Superman protects Metropolis, the end. But this, I understand, is part of the story.
Yeah, and there's a twist. I mean,
which is fine.
We understand the story. We understand the words that are coming out of the book. We just don't like the words. I'm reading this and I'm like, I would be the leader of the SWAT team that goes up to take Superman down.
Oh, I know.
At this point. I mean, it's gotten out of hand. And my New Year's resolution was to give the Superman books a fair shake, and I just find that I have. This is... And, you know, it's a shame because I love Nicola Scott's art, and I think she's...
I love George Perez.
Yeah, you know what? I love George Perez too, and I just think that this take on Superman, again, it's... God, I'm siding with the bad people in the super books who want to take out Superman because he's acting irresponsibly.
Yeah, I understand it's part of the story, and I understand, like, the ending has...
And we've been talking about tie-ups to stories that don't pay off. Yeah. And all I'm saying is the tie-up to Superman better pay off in a way that people look back up to this Superman.
There's no way that this story ends and all of Metropolis goes, oh, okay, we're pals now. Like, there's no way that happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I mean this, Superman is still not a pickup.
No way. Okay. Justice League, number 5, late a week.
Yeah.
But here it is.
And?
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Again, I feel like, aside from the fact that they're speeding through this storyline.
But
we
this is 5 years ago, man.
I get it. It's all happened in the past. We really don't need the details of why everyone's laid out already when we, start the book. Having said that, there's some great Batman Green Lantern moments.
Yep. There's a really great Green Lantern Batman moment. Yeah. There's that moment where Batman just lays it all out and goes, everybody's taking their turn at bat. It's time for us to play like a team.
Yeah.
And that's when Batman goes, I'm putting everything on the line. You go rally the troops.
Yeah.
They'll listen to you. You're loud.
Yeah.
And Hal goes, duh, okay. And then goes back and screws it up because he's not a leader.
Yeah.
But the story goes somewhere where I didn't expect it to go.
No. And I do like this Justice League book. It's the action movie event of DC Comics, and I can appreciate that. Again, we keep talking about Superman in these books. I really don't think they know what to do with Superman, because the best characters in this book are Batman and Green Lantern again.
Hey, Cyborg's pretty great in this book too. I know he just shows up
he has
when
a couple moments.
we get to learn more about Cyborg.
But again, if Justice League doesn't end with a holy, I'll use the word moly moment.
Buddy, we're on the internet. You can say shit.
No, it's about Superman though. A holy moly moment.
That's more Captain Marvel.
Right.
Sorry, Shazam.
A holy crap moment
right,
with Superman.
I'll take it.
Against Darkseid. Again, the payoff, I want these stories to have a great payoff. And this is not saying that Justice League is a bad book. The art is, once again, phenomenal. I love Batman and Green Lantern's dialogue. I just, if you're a Superman fan, you're still waiting for Superman to do something.
If you're a Superman fan, look at this cover. Who's in front? Who's right behind? Who's way in the back?
Yeah. They don't know what to do with Superman.
Now it's time for a Red Tornado Watch. There is no Red Tornado in this week's comics. God, please come soon.
Okay, so every week we pick 6 books for our pull list.
Yeah.
Some people pick 5.
We go 6.
10. We go 6. So first up.
First up, let's say Aquaman, because we don't have a copy to show you.
Right.
But Aquaman is on our list.
Yeah. So first up, Aquaman, great book. Pick it up.
Yep.
Justice League, number 5, great book.
Mm-hmm.
Pick it up. iVampire, number 5,
So good.
great book. Justice
League
League
Dark.
Dark, number
Great
5.
book. That's 3,
Great
bud.
book. Is that 3?
That's 3. Well, Aquaman technically is
that's
4.
4. All-Star Western,
Ugh.
number 5.
Yep.
Great book. And we agree with Voodoo.
Yeah.
Voodoo, number 5, great book. Is that 6?
Yeah, that's 6.
And instead of Voodoo, I would actually put Teen Titans number 5.
Yeah, I would.
I actually really like.
I would put
that.
Voodoo. I didn't
Yeah.
care for Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Your honorable mention?
The Flash, because even though it let us down a bit, it's still a good, good story.
And
what is your book of the week?
My book of the week is it's always All-Star Western. It's always All-Star Western.
Always
Although Justice League Dark, I would flip a coin this week.
Okay, so
I have to say,
you gotta pick
what for book of the week?
book of the week.
Let me go honorable mention and blow everybody's minds.
Sure.
I might go Hawkman.
Wow.
Honorable mention because this is the book I've been waiting for.
Sure.
But Justice League's real good. Justice League Dark's real good. All-Star Western. I got to go All-Star Western.
All-Star Western, and I would go All-Star Western too.
Yeah, it's great
because it's a great book. But I'm not going to because you already know how I feel about All-Star
True,
Western.
you're
so
right.
I'm gonna try something
Gonna
different.
switch it up.
Teen Titans.
Oh, buddy.
I know.
You're
number
wrong.
5.
You're wrong.
I know that we disagree on this.
You're wrong.
Justice League, Aquaman were all great books, but
Aquaman's
I've picked
real good.
all of those before.
You're right. You have.
To put in my top books, and I want to try something different this week. I really like Teen Titans. It's all action, but I just love the dialogue and the internal monologues. I like the characters, and I think it's great. And even though I'm wrong,
You're wrong.
I can admit when I'm wrong. But
You're wrong.
if this is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
I
I went there.
Song.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks
Thanks
so
for
much
watching.
for watching. Feel free to comment at any time. Come to the Silver Snail. Pick up these awesome Green Lantern hats. How amazing are these?
Fun.
Yeah. Thanks again.
See you next time.